So what is the science of mindfulness? So mindfulness detaches you from your ego by quietening a part of the brain known as the default mode network. Now this comprises of multiple parts of the brain, and this is where the home of the self is. So that narrative that you have in your head that tells you about who you are and what you think, that story you tell yourself about yourself, that is stored in the default mode network. And overactive default mode network is associated with depression and anxiety. And my understanding of the cause for this is because these sort of mental diseases have to do with very negative narratives of yourself or narratives of unpleasant past and future in the case of anxiety. So the antithesis of the default mode network is the task positive network, and this has to do with you being present and aware. So when you're really focused on a task or you're doing something and you're completely present, the here and now, that is when your task positive network is active. The task positive network comprises of parts such as the prefrontal cortex, the insular cortex, the rationalizing part of the brain. So now think about this. Think about an activity that you're extremely engrossed in. Say you're making a painting, or you're sketching, or you're writing a novel, or you're really in a flow mental state. How often do you end up thinking about other things when you're in that flow state? You don't, right? You're completely present in the task that you're doing. You're engrossed in that task, and you are essentially the same thing. You're not thinking about anything else. Your mind is not wandering. When you are consumed by the narratives that are pushed forward by the default mode network, then you're considering negative outcomes or creating negative associations to yourself. However, when you're so consumed by a task and completely present in it, there are no hypotheticals. There is no opportunity for negative narratives to arise. So that's why you want your task positive network to dominate. And the thing with these two networks is that when one is active, the other one tends to be inactive. When your mind shifts to the task positive network, you're more present, you're more aware. This makes you happier, this makes you more focused, and this makes you more emotionally aware. Now let me give you an example of what meditation can do. They've done a number of studies where they've taken a number of high-level meditation practitioners and placed their brains in an MRI scanner. And what they found is that the connectivity in their task positive network is much stronger than that of their default mode network. And the default mode network is extremely quiet. And in some cases, they've actually found physical growth in the parts of the brain associated with the task positive network and shrinking in the default mode network. So this just goes to show that meditation can physically change the structure of your brain. It's like they've exercised their brain to the point that they can flex the six-pack of their brain. So that's all for today's video, guys. Thanks for listening. Cheers.